Good evening. I'd like to call the City of Fairhope Board and Adjustment Meeting to order. This is our May 19th, 2025 meeting, and I'd like to introduce our board.
Brian Baker.
Brian Flowers.
Donna Cook.
Anil Vera.
Kathy Slagle.
Okay, great. So our first order of business is approval of the minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, that motion passes or is approved, so consider of the agenda items. We'll take a vote. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Jumped the gun on that. All right.
Aye.
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 All right, thank you. All right, we have one item on the agenda. It's BOA 25.07. It's a public hearing to consider the request of the applicant Jade Consulting LLC on behalf of owner HJ Properties for a special exception to operate a bar and entertainment venue on property zoned M1 Light Industrial District. The property is approximately .38 acres and is located at 363 Commercial Park Drive.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Got to give Michelle is sick today, but she put a lot of work in on this, so I don't want to claim all this work, but I just get to present the work she did for you tonight. This is a little bit of a mixed project, and I think she said it best in her staff report. While bar is an ancillary use, it's not the principal use of this property. It's kind of indoor recreation, maybe entertainment venue is the primary use. And ability to serve, I think, beer and wine is ancillary to that. Not even approved through ABC right now, but we are accommodating for that in our reviews. The intent here is essentially golf simulators. There is primary use and some event space with that, and then some club repair in addition to that. The zoning for this property is M1, Light Industrial District. On your screen on the right-hand side is the existing conditions of the property. There are currently parking in front on Commercial Park Drive. And in the rear is kind of an open, more industrial type area. It's just concrete right now with a one small building, which you'll see a little bit more clearly on the plans. But it's in this area, if you can see my mouse. And there's no proposed new buildings on the property. It would all be interior renovations at this time. It's also in the medical overlay district. It's industrial zoning within the medical overlay district. The M1 does not allow a bar or entertainment. It does allow indoor recreation, which I think this clearly is as the principal use. And the alcoholic beverages would be, like I said, ancillary to that, which is kind of similar to warehouse bakery and some of the other uses within the M1 district. This would be a membership for golf simulators, club fitting, and golf instruction and golf repair. Kind of showing you the existing, there's the site plan as we just looked at with the arrow of the existing buildings as you see here. And the proposed, really kind of one of the things we were bantering back and forth, why those uses were interchangeable and why we use those. We were kind of looking at what parking requirements would be on this. And we really wanted to be the most strict of the kind of three uses, even though some may be ancillary. And what has been proposed is leaving the parking in front, adding two there, and then off the back kind of have on-street parking where right now it's just a sea of concrete. Won't need the loading zone, so turning that into parking, including the handicap accessible space and a sidewalk to enter the building. Only other thing to note on this civil plan is the two patios proposed. I'm going to touch on that again in a moment. But this would be the interior layout. you can see here that external building will be more set up for club repair and sizing. There would be 8 golf simulators, each with their kind of own small seating area, 4 seats approximately to each, with a central lounge area. You know, this is kind of your 2 restrooms, 2 instructional simulators, and 3 more of the golf simulators. So 6 for the uses of golf simulation, 2 for instruction. The 2 patios, and kind of, when we looked at this, and you might see some numbers thrown around on some of the plans. Don't pay attention to the plans. If you look at our, Michelle's language within the staff report, the assembly space, and Frank was here, he confirmed, when an architect hears of assembly space, it's usually focused on a building code requirement. So some of those calculations, I think, showed 2,400 square feet or 2,700. But when we're looking at parking, we also want to accommodate where is the gathering area for that assembly space. So the outdoor patio was also counted. So you see that creeping up to around 3,700 square feet. 19 spaces are required to have that much square footage. So that's what they have provided within the plans. We do have that for that patio, and certainly if we wanted kind of a delineation of where that patio space would be. So you see one condition we're recommending, probably if they do get their ABC license, would require that separation anyway. They require but even if not, we want to ensure that that patio space is separated and delineated, and it just doesn't spill out into the parking lot, and a lot more people can gather than there's the parking for. So we do recommend approval of this use. Signage shall, with 4 conditions, signage shall conform to the sign ordinance. Any parking beyond the 19 spaces shall be permeable spaces. Correct seat counts should be changed to 51, 57 is on plans submitted. And then outdoor patios shall have physical barriers defining the assembly space. We do have the owners looking on your right here representing the clients, and then Paul Marcinko with Jade Engineering is here as well if there's any questions. I'll be happy to answer those. We did get one comment, I think, from a neighbor that was worried about a bar being next door. I think Michelle talked to her and once understood what was actually being proposed, had no problems with it. You did get a letter today we received on Friday to better explain the operation. So if there's any questions on that, we have everyone here that can answer those. So.
All right, thank you. Would the applicant like to come up and add anything more? Okay. If you'll state your name for our record, please.
Paul Marcinko with Jade Consulting. I don't have a whole lot more to add. I just want to thank staff and Michelle, who's not here, for working with us. We came in to have kind of a wide focus of what the use was and the blended use that we have, and I think Fairhope Golf Works is a great addition to the area, so we're here to answer any questions and appreciate staff's help to narrow that focus. Yes, ma'am.
What would be the hours of operation?
Oh, yes, and then I'll let them answer these questions so they can answer the hours of operation.
If you don't mind, if you'll state your name, because we're being recorded.
My name's Avery Reed. We haven't solidified the hours yet. What our plan is to be probably like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reason being, right now we have 2 of the top high school players in the county. They come over every morning at 7 a.m. and practice every Monday, Wednesday, Friday until school starts. So we do run into being open to accommodate for them. And then people of where we're at right now, we get a lot of requests for guys after work that want to come hit golf balls or practice and work on their golf game. And there's nowhere in the area that's open once they're off work. So we were thinking 7 to 10.
Thank you.
I did not lead that question, by the way, but I did this morning say, hey, that's the only thing to be prepared to talk about, because I think that can be important, maybe not so much as with the golf training, but with the ancillary bar use.
Right.
So,
You know, at maximum, we're going to probably have, if we were really busy, you're looking at 24, 25 people accommodating the most at one time.
Thank you.
How many employees will you have?
Right now, it's just the 2 of us. We'll probably be adding a receptionist and then somebody to do the drinks, the beverages like Cokes, waters, beer, wine. So it'll be 4 total.
And I also saw where you said events. What, after-hour events?
Yeah, so right now we offer corporate events. So we just did one actually for Merrill Lynch, and they'll bring in 15 people or so, and they'll rent out the bays, and then what we'll do is we'll divide them into teams. They'll play golf and have a round robin. It's just kind of a fun way for them to do, building, so.
Is this going to be a traditional bar, or is it going to be like canned drinks back in the refrigerator, or how does that?
Yeah, our plan is that most of it's going to be probably non-alcoholic, but yeah, we might have like a slight traditional bar where you can get beer and wine, but nothing more. And it won't be available our plan is to have about 150 members to accommodate the 6 bays. So like I said, 4 guys, they'll have a certain amount of hours they can use per month. And it's not going to be people coming in. You have to be a member to be in there. So it's not like we're going to be serving to anybody outside the membership. Yep.
What will the membership cost?
That's still to be determined based on where all of this falls. But there'll be an initiation fee and then a monthly fee.
All right, is there any other questions from the members? Board? All right, well, thank you.
Thank
you. Okay, we'll now we'll open the public portion of the meeting. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak for or against it? Okay, close the public portion. And board members, do we have any further discussion?
Honor, I just have one question. It's in the M1 district, so that's the IDB, right? Is there anything that's related to that needs to happen related to this?
Typically would just kind of float it out, as you know, as a member that board doesn't meet. We do have a kind of an industrial, the club building and repair falls within that. So where in the past we went to them on a use is, I believe, traditional restaurants and bars have to come to this board specifically. And
I thought there was something that got passed where the restaurants and bars were allowed, right?
they are allowed with Board of Adjustment approval.
Right, yeah.
Where before they were not allowed at all.
Right.
Unless they incorporated something, the coffee, I think, is an example.
Right.
But the coffee
Building,
manufacturing.
right, yeah.
So there was an industrial component. So that's the only ones we've kind of brought to the industrial board, but
And this is, you had it on one of the earlier slides, that the entertainment or there is a use that's allowed in the M1 that fits into
Indoor
this.
recreation
Indoor
is
recreation,
allowed.
that fits into this, so that's how that works, okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Indoor recreation for it being an M1, and then it's also in the medical overlay, which allows the accessory uses for additional items.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
yeah, we kind of discussed that, and just because this does kind of have some component of the industrial, we didn't feel like this was one really to take to the board for a special meeting, because as you know, we have to call those meetings, especially they don't meet on a regularly scheduled meeting.
Right.
I'm not opposed.
No, I'm not.
Certainly.
I'm not pushing it. I just wanted to know if there was process that we were missing or anything to make sure that it's all checked off. For them.
Good question, though.
All right, any additional discussion or a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the Fairhope Golf Works, if, going along with the 4 items that are listed underneath: the signage, the parking, the seat count, and the outdoor patios with physical barriers.
We have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor, we'll take a roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you. Is there any old or new business?
Have any?
So is there any, do we have anything scheduled for next month at this time?
We have received some applications.
Okay.
I don't know if, we've got 2 that we're waiting that did not get, we got the applications last time. We told you we had a few, but didn't get everything back. I don't think we've got anything from either of those. And I know one more we got today that they're not gonna be, everything's ready, so we may only have one case, we may not have one case.
Okay, all right. All right, so our next meeting will be June the, let me get, 16th, is that correct? June 16th, all right. Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank y'all.